Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, My DevOps Journey. If you're wondering where do I start with DevOps or which tool should I learn first, you're in the right place. When I started my DevOps journey, I was just like you, confused, overwhelmed, and scared of Linux and scripting. But later, I figured out a smarter way to learn, and today I'm here to share that exact roadmap with you. This video is about real experiences, real strategies, and real results in DevOps journey. If you'll just follow this roadmap, congratulations, you'll be the next DevOps engineer. So grab a notebook and a pen. This could be the start of your DevOps career. So, can you take a guess why DevOps is blooming or why it is such a hot career right now? Yes, it is all about big salaries and career stability. But I've seen many people quit halfway. Why? Because they start with the cool stuff like Docker and Kubernetes, and then they come back and learn the basic stuff like Linux, scripting, networking later. I have been there too. I started my career with a salary of 15,000 per month in tech support job. And today I earn 26 lakh per annum as a DevOps engineer. Some common mistakes beginners make is skipping Linux and scripting and jumping between tools without understanding the basics and also thinking there are no jobs for freshers. Trust me, there are thousands of jobs. Please don't assume that there are no job openings for freshers in the DevOps market. And another thing is people believe it's impossible to crack DevOps interview as a fresher. But trust me, no job interview is easy if you go to any domain. You only feel it difficult when you're not well prepared. That's exactly why I'm creating this DevOps series to show you the exact interview preparation and DevOps learning strategies that has worked for me. Believe me, if I can do, you can do it too. Let me quickly show you how many entry-level DevOps jobs are available right now. See, there are 5,661 job vacancies in Naukri and 443 jobs in Glassdoor and 2,000 plus jobs in LinkedIn. And let me open in Naukri portal and show you. Let's first filter out with the experience that I have and see, and you can see all the jobs and you can apply to one which is matching with your skill set. And now let's talk about the skills. Here is a little secret that I follow. If you want to know which tools to include in your resume or job portal, just check 2 to 3 job descriptions. You'll get a clear idea what are all the skills that needs to be on your resume and what are all the skills that companies are looking for. And you can add those on your job portal on LinkedIn and Naukri as well. Then use ChatGPT to rebuild your resume with the job description. And please don't just copy paste whatever it gives you. Just modify it on your own words with simple English. So here's another secret nobody tells you, that you only need to be proficient in 3 tools to become successful DevOps engineer. That is Linux and scripting, Kubernetes, and CI/CD. These are the core skills that will help you excel in your DevOps career. You may ask, like, what about the rest of the tools? Don't worry about it. You'll pick them up along the way. They are not that hard once you have mastered the basics. Remember this rule. It always seems impossible until it is done or until you have achieved it, right? So if you are at the entry level, I suggest you to take any job, even if it's a startup or a contract role. What matters is your hunger to learn and get hands-on experience in real production environment. That's where the magic begins. And if you are in India, Naukri.com is the #1 job portal. It's more than enough. Just keep your profile updated twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, because that's when hiring teams filter the candidates. And please don't stress over LinkedIn jobs. They are mostly targeted at experienced professionals. But still, I highly recommend you to having a well updated LinkedIn profile with your all the skills, resume, and professional photo, because most of the hiring teams will check your LinkedIn profile to verify your background. And also they filter out the fake profiles. So make sure your education and career details are accurate and complete. And let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video on DevOps interview preparation strategies to help you land your first job. And would you believe me if I told you that 50% of DevOps engineers today are people who switch domains? Yes, it is true, and I am one of them. I started my career in tech support job, earning 15,000 per month. After an year, I moved into the network domain as a NOC engineer with 30,000 per month. Then my life changed when I transitioned into DevOps from 8 lakh per annum to 15 lakh per annum, and currently with 26 lakh per annum. It's one of the best decisions that I have ever made. Okay, let's talk about salaries because I know most of you have this question in mind. Let me show you real quick what the current job market is offering for freshers. So what can a fresher expect? If you are just starting out with 0 to 1 years of experience, you can expect a salary of around 4 to 7 lakh per annum based on the current market. And once you have 2 to 3 years of DevOps experience, you can easily earn around 10 to 15 lakhs per annum. And with 3 to 5 years of experience plus strong hands-on skills and knowledge of advanced tools, you can aim for 20 to 25 lakh per annum. And if you're really good at what you are doing, you can get the offer beyond that as well. And some of you might be switching from a tech support role or working as a Linux admin. Your previous experience can be counted in the company, and in that case, you might get 40 to 50% hike from your current package. It all depends on how strong your technical skills are. That's why DevOps is one of the hottest careers right now. It not only offers great pay, but also gives you the job security even during the layoffs or recessions. Now, let's get into the real practical step by step roadmap. What exactly you should be focusing on when learning each tool. This is where most people go wrong. They jump straight into learning tools without understanding the basic DevOps fundamentals. So, before you start learning tools, make sure you understand what is software development lifecycle, what is DevOps, why do companies need DevOps engineers, and what is the role of DevOps engineers in a day, and comparing the traditional DevOps versus traditional, and understanding the difference between DevOps versus traditional software development lifecycle. Understanding the why behind DevOps is just as important as learning the tools. Next comes Linux. Linux is your DevOps foundation. What you'll learn here is how servers work, how is the file system structured, how to manage permissions, and how to use the command line. Because DevOps is equal to servers and servers is equal to Linux. Without this foundation, you will just follow tutorials without truly understanding what's happening. And some of you might be wondering, how much Linux do I need to learn for DevOps or AWS Cloud? Remember, it's 100% okay if you don't understand how Linux boots from BIOS to kernel, and understanding every system call or memory management function or deep kernel space versus user space concepts. You don't need to be Linux kernel developer unless you're building your own operating system, right? But you must be proficient in running basic Linux commands for servers or AWS EC2 instances, and file management, file permissions, SSH, process management, and system logs, things like that. And also in writing basic bash scripts to automate everyday DevOps tasks. And ignoring Linux, Linux basics will definitely slow down your DevOps or cloud journey. Step 3 is learning basic networking. Now that you're comfortable with Linux, it's time to learn how machines communicate. Start with some basics like IP addresses, DNS, TCP/IP protocol, HTTP, and HTTPS, and what are all the default ports, about firewalls and load balancers. You don't need to become a network engineer, but as a DevOps engineer, you should understand how web applications interact with servers. Basic networking knowledge is essential for troubleshooting issues in production. If you use Linux daily, whether you are a developer or a DevOps engineer or system admin, you need to know how to manage and troubleshoot networks like a pro. There are some essential networking commands that will make your life 10 times easier, and I'll be demoing them in my Linux series video. Next comes the scripting language. You can pick any scripting language, either Bash or Python. But if you are a beginner, I recommend you to start with Bash and learning Python later. Scripting is a lifesaver. It helps you avoid repeating tasks manually. You can automate boring stuffs like backups, deployments, server maintenance. You might ask how much shell scripting knowledge you need to crack any DevOps interview. Here's the truth: no DevOps engineers will write 100 lines of scripts from scratch every day. We use tools like ChatGPT or other online tools for help. Then you might ask why learning scripting. Then you might ask why learn scripting if AI can generate it? Because AI is nothing without the human touch. You still need to understand what the script is doing. AI gives you generic logic, but you need to modify and implement it based on your project needs. That's why you're getting paid. In my scripting series, you'll also learn on basics like variables, loops, conditions. These are some building blocks of any scripting language. If you understand these, you can write any script with some logic. Just blindly practice the shell script I show in my DevOps series. For extra practice, you can check out my GitHub repo, which I will link in the description. I have listed most common scripts used in DevOps engineers in daily task, and I have listed most common scripts used by DevOps engineers in daily tasks, and also scripts that were asked in my own DevOps interviews. Practice these, and I can guarantee you that you will be able to answer any shell scripting questions in the interview. Also, I'll be making a full video on shell scripting interview questions very soon. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Step 5 is mastering Git. This is the backbone of teamwork, and version control is non negotiable. And every DevOps engineer uses Git every single day. So what you learn here is the Git basics, like how to commit, how to push, how to pull and merge the code. You'll also learn the branching strategies like feature branches, merge requests, things like that. And most importantly, you will need Git to track changes, collaborate with teams, and roll back when things break. Next, learn any cloud provider of your choice, because cloud is where everything runs today. You don't need to master all the three, just pick one and go deep with it. If you choose AWS, which I personally recommend for beginners, learn how to launch a server, basically EC2, how to create storage like S3 bucket, and how to set up permissions with IAM. Once you get the basics right, everything else becomes easier. And next comes the interesting tool, Docker and containers, to package your applications like a pro. Things you learn here is what is containerization, why we use Docker, how to build and run Docker containers, and understanding on Docker files, Docker Compose, and how to create Docker files, things like that. This is where things start to feel real. You will actually see your applications running in a container. And next comes the master of all the tools, Kubernetes. Once you're comfortable with Docker, it's time to meet its big brother, Kubernetes, which lets you orchestrate your containers. What you'll learn here is Kubernetes architecture and its basics like pods, deployments, services, Helm charts, things like that. And Kubernetes help you with scaling your applications. It manages multiple containers, and it also handles failures automatically. Yes, it looks scary at first, but trust me, it's one of the most interesting and practical topics you will learn. If you have got your Linux and Docker basics down, Kubernetes will start to make sense. Next comes our hero of DevOps. CI/CD is where the real DevOps magic happens. It lets your code go from development to production with zero manual work. What you'll be learning here is what is CI/CD, the Jenkins and GitLab setup and pipeline creation, and also automating the builds and deployments and other things. And step 10 is learning Terraform and infrastructure as code. Imagine writing code to build your cloud infrastructure. Yes, that's what Terraform does, and it's a game changer. With just few lines of code, you can launch servers, set up networks, manage cloud resources. And what you'll learn here is what is infrastructure as code and how to create AWS infrastructure using Terraform and things like that. It's one of the hottest skills in DevOps right now, and it saves you hours of manual work. So, lastly, learning monitoring. Monitoring is super important in DevOps and SRE. This is where most people skip ahead and jump straight into interviews. So, what you'll be learning here is why monitoring and logging is important in DevOps, and how Prometheus and Grafana used for observability, and understanding the ELK stack, that is Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, and also learning on real-time log monitoring for applications. It's in every DevOps interview, you'll be asked at least one question about monitoring. So don't skip this. It's not just about the tools, it's about keeping your systems healthy and your users happy. So by now, you know exactly what to focus on. This is the only core roadmap you need to land your first DevOps job. Don't stress too much about the trending tools in the market. If you're a beginner, this is all you need. Forget about the noise around trending tools like GitOps, Istio, MLOps, etc. Those are advanced topics. You can learn them later. So, and some other simple tools you should also learn, which I'll be covering in my series. Those are SonarQube for code quality checks, Nexus and JFrog tools as artifact repository, and Tomcat for basic server setup, and also Jira. It is a ticketing tool for project and issue tracking. And some real world DevOps fundamentals you'll also learn in my DevOps series, like how DNS works, how an HTTP request flows from a browser to website or an application, like what all the layers the request traveled through, and what are the default protocols and port numbers you should be knowing as a DevOps engineer. And you'll also learn on branching strategies that are used in most of the companies. And you'll also learn on server setup, how storage, memory, CPU configs are in UAT staging, prod environment, and learn things on how the staging and production release process is done in companies, and also about how deployment is done through release automations. I know DevOps can feel overwhelming at first, especially for beginners, but here's a secret. Don't try to learn everything at once. Avoid jumping from one topic to another without finishing the previous one. Just follow this roadmap one step at a time, and most importantly, do not give up. Your DevOps journey starts right now, and this is my first ever video on YouTube, and your feedback means a lot to me. In my next video, I will be covering on interview preparation strategy, and how to create your Naukri and LinkedIn profiles to get more interview calls. And if this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and drop a comment with any questions you have. I will definitely reply to all of them. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.